Hey there, this is Clay with RelationshipInnerGame.com, and in this video I'm going to be telling you 5 texts that you should never send to your ex. Okay, so obviously you have an ex if you're watching this video and you're considering sending them a text message or two. Let's just go ahead and get over a couple of these texts that you definitely don't want to send to your ex. And you know, I'm saying text here, but it's not just limited to, you know, on your phone. It could be emails you never want to send your ex, phone calls you never want to have with your ex, letters you never want to send your ex, all that stuff. It's just texting is the medium, and for whatever reason, that is the medium that we as a society have decided we would rather communicate with people in general. So let's just kind of go over 5 texts to never send your ex. Now, the first text that you never want to send your ex is the begging and pleading text / I promise I have changed text. And you know this one. I mean, whenever you first go through a breakup, probably most people go through this stage where they're just sending their ex these texts. It's like, you know, hey, I'm sorry. I promise that I've changed for good. And if we could just get together for coffee and talk about this, I know I can make things right and we can get back together and everything is going to be perfect again. You know, just that kind of text, right? You don't want to send this text because well, simply put, it's a reaction to the breakup. And you're thinking, well, yeah, of course it's a reaction to the breakup. But the thing is that you don't want to just be reacting to the breakup. You want to actively be creating something better together with your ex. And if you're just sending these begging, pleading sort of texts, I promise I've changed sort of texts, your ex is going to be thinking that the only reason you are sending these texts to them is because you want to get back together with them. And you might be thinking, yeah, I do want to get back together with them, but they have to, before your ex is ever going to want to get back together with you, they have to know that it's not just because you're in pain and you want to make the pain go away by getting back together with them. They want to know that you understand what they're going through. They want to know that you are connected to them. They want to know that they're not walking right back into the same relationship that they walked out the door on, okay? And if you're just simply promising that you've changed or begging to get back together, that's just, you know, all talk, and it's not necessarily backed up with anything. Anyone can just talk a good talk, but what you actually want to do is demonstrate that change through how you're being, through how you're bringing yourself to situations, okay? So don't be sending the begging, pleading / I promise I've changed sort of text. That's not a good way to go, okay? The second text you do not want to send to your ex is the sort of fluff text, okay? And what do I mean by fluff text? I mean these like sort of cultural fluff things that people just send all the time that don't really mean anything, you know, like, hey, how are you doing? What's going on? What's up? Hope you're having a good day. You know, just these things, right? And these are just things that people just say all the time in our society, and they're just sort of like throwaway sayings, you know? You just go up to, you know, a coffee shop, a barista, or a cashier at a store or something like that, and what's going to happen? You know, you're going to say, hey, how's it going? They're going to be like, oh, what's up? You know, and it's not like they're actually like, hey, man, you know, it's been a while since you've come in for a coffee. I was really wondering, how are you doing, right? It's not like that kind of like really genuine sort of how are you doing kind of thing. It's like, hey, how's it going? What are you drinking today, right? You want an espresso? You want a latte? You want a mocha? You know? And there's this sort of just cultural treatment of these terms, even if you genuinely mean them, as if they're just sort of like noise. They don't really mean anything, right? It's just fluff. Just like, hey, what's going on? What's up? How's it going? We just sort of like tune these out, even if somebody genuinely means it, because again, texting, you can only read what's on the screen. You can't tell the intonation, the inflection, right? You can't tell if somebody says, hey, what's up? Or like, hey, what's up, man? It's been a while. You know, you don't get that kind of inflection and sort of vocal tone through text message. So just know that if you send the, hey, what's up, how's it going, what's going on kind of text, these are just going to be mostly ignored by your ex because as a society, we generally just ignore these kinds of texts anyway, right? We just generally ignore this kind of conversation anyway. We just generally tune it out because it doesn't really mean anything in our day-to-day life. It's just people making noise back and forth to one another. So don't send that kind of text to your ex either. The third type of text that you don't want to send to your ex is the "I'm great, I'm happy, I've changed for the better, life is wonderful" kind of text, okay? The reason you don't want to send this kind of text is, number one, your ex will think that you are sending this text to them because you are trying to impress them or get back together with them or have some sort of hidden agenda along those lines. Like, hey, if I can just show my ex that I'm happy without them, maybe they'll be jealous. If I can just show my ex that, life is wonderful, then maybe they'll want to get back together with me because I'm such a great, happy, wonderful person and all that stuff. Or if you send, your ex the text where it's like, hey man, I'm down 10 pounds since the breakup. I got a new promotion at work and you should see this new car I got, right? Your ex is just going to think that you're just trying to impress them or something along those lines. And that's definitely not a great place to be initiating contact from your ex, is with them believing that you are trying to impress them or win them back or show them something or validate yourself to them in some way, right? It sort of starts off by them being up here, you being down here, and trying to, impress them and sort of work your way up here or make them acknowledge you down here or something. Like, you don't want that. You want it to be even, okay? And so this is definitely not a text that you want to send to your ex. Now, the fourth type of text that you do not want to send to your ex is the sort of, emotional confession, the sort of laying it out on the line kind of text. And I know that a lot of people have this belief, this feeling that if they just, pump as much of their emotion into their phone as they possibly can, that it's going to have some sort of great effect. But it's not the case, right? So you don't want to be sending your ex something like, hey, I just wanted you to know that the time that we had together was absolutely magical, and it will shine in my memory brighter than 1,000 stars over a dark evening sky. And to me, our love was like a shooting star that zipped across that sky and lit the whole sky on fire. That is what your love meant to me. It illuminated me from the bottom of my soul, and it brought such meaning and passion to my life, even if it was only for such a brief moment. And if I could just wish upon a shooting star, I would wish for that love back again. Send. No, you do not send that one. Don't send that text. The reason why is because, number one, it does have sort of an implicit sort of manipulative thing to it, where it's like, hey, if I can just, tell you the most flowery, beautiful, poetic words, then it's going to somehow change your mind, right? But really, it's not the words that are going to change somebody's mind. It's just the consistency of how you bring yourself to an interaction moment by moment, day by day, week by week, that's going to cause them to actually trust you and cause them to actually start to reevaluate their past judgments about maybe how you may be, how you may not be, and cause them to maybe start to see you in a new light, okay? Another reason why you don't want to send this text message is because it comes across as way over invested, right? If you are just establishing contact with your ex, maybe you've not talked to them in a couple weeks or something like that, or maybe your last conversation didn't go very well, this is going to come across as way over invested. You're going to come across as somebody who's trying really way too hard, and your ex is going to be like, hey, I'm just a guy. Sure, we were together for a while, but it wasn't really working out, and then we broke up, and I don't know why you're sending me this text saying our love was like the most magical thing in the world. I mean, sure, we were together, but it was kind of cool, but I wouldn't say it was magical. There's going to be like this great disconnect between where they're at and where you're at, and that disconnect is not going to inspire them to want to get back together. It's going to highlight how much distance there is between the two of you, and why they don't want to be with you, okay? So that is definitely not a text that you want to send to your ex. And the fifth and final text that you don't want to send to your ex that we'll cover in this video is the ninja mind game text, okay? So I know that there are some people out there who maybe have done a little bit of searching around on the internet and have discovered a certain sub-niche genre of texting that is basically the ninja mind game text, okay? And this usually is inspired by people who have tried to text their ex many different things, but their ex hasn't responded to them for any number of reasons. And so these people think they have to go with like the nuclear option. They have to go out there and find this sort of magical ninja text message thing that they can send their ex. Because, you know, interacting with your ex like a human being isn't working. So clearly you need to cover the covert hypnosis things that are going to force your ex to do things against their will, right? So this sort of text message, it could look like any number of things, but it's basically, you know, something like, I have a confession to make, ... send, right? And so your ex is going to see this and be like, I have a confession to make. Like, what does that mean? I'm going to text them back and see, like, what's your confession? And all this time they're thinking, like, what? Do you have some sort of STD or something that I need to know about? Or, you know, if you're a woman, like, oh, are you pregnant or something? And they're going to be, like, worrying about this stuff. And then, you know, the ninja text message technique says, you know, they say, oh, what's the confession? And you say, I was thinking about you today, or something like that. And they're supposed to be like, oh, that's sweet. Phew, I'm so glad you don't have an STD, okay. But that's not really how you want to initiate contact with your ex, because number one, it is a mind game, it is manipulation, number two. Number three, your ex is going to see this, they're going to feel this, and they're going to feel a little bit taken advantage of. They're going to believe that you were sort of just stringing them along, that you're sort of jerking them around in some sort of you know, silly, weird mind game or something like that. And it's not going to create the kind of connection and trust that's going to actually bring you together. Because I promise you, your ex and you don't have a great relationship because of a lack of mind games between the two of you. Your ex and you aren't broken up because the two of you aren't manipulating each other enough, okay? That's not the problem. It really isn't. The problem is that you actually need to have real, genuine, authentic human connections with one another. And the more you can have these human, genuine, heart-to-heart connections, not in the like emotional confession sort of way, but in the way where you can just actually, you know, pace yourself appropriately in terms of your level of investment and not be way over-invested or under-invested or anything like that, then that is going to actually bring the two of you together. Not sort of running covert hypnosis on one another, not using magical NLP language on one another, not playing mind games or playing hard to get or manipulation things or jealousy scripts or tactics or anything like that. That's not going to bring the two of you together, and it's definitely not going to create a positive, great, wonderful, loving relationship in the long haul. So if that's not going to create the great relationship in the long run, why are you playing around with these silly little junior high quality shenanigans right now? Just leave those behind, okay? So I hope this has helped you out. I hope this has given you a good idea about you know, the text that you should not be sending to your ex. If you'd like to learn about what you can actually do to maybe work things out with your ex, here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to go down to our website, relationshipinnergame.com. There's a link down below, or you could just type it into your browser and just click on over there. And what you can do is you can tell us a little bit about your relationship, kind of where you're at in the whole, you know, dating thing, like, oh, I'm going through a breakup, my ex is, you know, my ex-boyfriend or something like that. And we'll start to send to you some special customized advice, strategies, and tactics to help you get where you want to go. I'm guessing if you're watching this video, you're probably going through a breakup and maybe you want to get back together with your ex. So we can definitely help you with that. So please go head over to relationshipinnergame.com and sign up so we can start helping you today. In the meantime, if you like this video, please go ahead and give us a thumbs up or subscribe to our channel so that you can get more videos from us, or just go ahead and leave us a comment down below. Tell us what your experience has been with texting your ex. Have you had any nightmare scenarios, any actually good scenarios where you've texted your ex and it surprisingly went really well? Go ahead and share your experiences down below. And again, this has been Clay, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.